Smart vectors have continued to be developed since their first implementation, and in this release we've improved the toolset further with a couple of great new feature additions. In earlier versions of smart vectors, you would need to pre-render the vectors in order to see your results, but with smart vectors in 11.2, you can now utilize the power of your GPU to view a live output of your smart vectors. If I go ahead and skip about 10 frames, then it will take longer to process, and this is because Nuke is computing the motion vectors in between those last 10 or so frames. The great thing is that once those frames are processed, they are all then cached, meaning I could go to any frame up to that point from the reference frame and view the output immediately. Another feature addition included in the 11.2 release is the new matte input on the Smart Vector node. You can now set a mask and tell the Smart Vector node to not let any of the motion vectors within the mask influence the warp. This really helps to extend workflows with smart vectors, as you can now ensure that overlapping or occluding objects will no longer influence the warp distortions and give you greater control over how the elements are distorted in your shot. Here you can see a side by side of the difference the matte input can have on a shot.